well as a player, Musa Libusa. I'm just going to ask again that everyone puts their phones on silent so that we don't have anything disturbing the press conference. Coach, we're just going to get straight to it. A big game tomorrow. Just your perspective looking at the game against Aspa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much all of you for being present. Just wanted to give a word in first place to Coach Hubert Elude from Asfar, considering that he made a surgery during the week. So I hope he's recovers as quick as possible. Regarding the match, well, obviously a tremendous match, a match that everybody wants to play. We work for decisive moments to arrive in the decision moments, and this is a decision moment. So we worked very well during the week, something that we haven't been able to do for some time because of our tight game schedule. So it was important that we had some 3 days, 4 days work. And we tried to prepare ourselves in the best way, recover the players we needed to recover, get the best condition possible to face the game in terms of physical condition and tactical approach and strategical approach in the game. So the things are on the table. It's now time to the last details, let's say, and come on the game with all the energy so that we can get the result that makes us go through the group stage. That is our objective, of course.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I think from the player side, we're really excited, and we know the type of game, what it means for us to take the team to the next round. And everyone is ready. The whole week, everyone has been working hard, and we are ready for the hard work that we are about to display tomorrow.
Thank you. We're now going to open
up the game. Now head into the second leg of this game with Espa. I just want to know how prepared are you and the coaches, also the technical team?
Thank you very much for your question. Obviously, we are aware of the importance of the game, but we are pretty excited because, as is obvious, since we arrived in the club, we want to make the things as good as possible, and it was our objective, obviously, to invert a little bit the moment of the team and arrive on the decisive moments of the competition, of the group stage, and be able to take the team through. And us as technical team, obviously, that we are more than ready. We have a long past behind us in terms of experience of European competitions, Champions League matches, Europa League matches, African Champions League matches, as you know from our experience last year until the final of this competition. So what we think is that it's important that we pass also to a group that has also big experienced players, that we together understand the moment, how to approach a game like this, do it in the right way, fulfill the objectives, because this game will be different from the beginning till the end, obviously, and manage it in the right way so that we can achieve a result. It's very important that we are aware of that. Is important to achieve a result, of course.
ABC. Coach, it's a very difficult match that you're facing tomorrow, where you need a draw to progress. What's the approach going to be, and do you think in reverse that ASFA will sit back and perhaps wait for you, or how do you think the two teams will approach the game tomorrow? Because it's very difficult playing for a draw.
I totally understand your question, and it's completely legitimate that you make it in that way. But I think both teams have a very clear identity, let's say, in the way they play, in the way they approach the games. And I think that's what you're going to see in the pitch. Two teams that have a way to settle in terms of how they approach the games, tactically, strategically. Obviously that Asfa has less to lose. They are through. Anyway, they play for sure for the first position in the group. And we will play also for what we can get out of the game. And it's important that we know that the game eventually will have different moments, and we need to deal with the different moments. Obviously that we know that a draw in the end makes us go through to the next round, let's say. But in the beginning there's still 90 minutes to play, so no one can play a match thinking about a result, because usually who plays to draw usually in the end loses. So we have our mindset, we have our idea, our objectives, and we need also to be loyal to our fans, to our club, to our logo, so to our history, and we need to be loyal to ourselves. We'll make our best, but we'll manage the game, obviously, if we need to, in order to get the result that we need to go through.
Thanks, sir. That's it from Chancellor. Coach, I just want to check, obviously, it's a known fact that Sundowns pretty much lives to try and win the Champions League again, largely because of the high standards they set for themselves, and the club is really one of the big clubs on the continent. I just want to check that how much of a disappointment will it be if something goes wrong tomorrow and the club cannot proceed? Obviously, we're not here at the start. You came here, points were dropped already. But how much personal responsibility will you take as a coach? Maybe not only you, but as a new coaching group, and also just the disappointment that the club will be in, because it will be viewed in many parts as failure if you can't get out of the group.
Well, basically, it's the first time I think about that now you highlighted it. I don't even remember that can be a negative result. Look, if you have fear in football, if you have fear in life, it's normal you accept fear. Everybody, when you face challenges, it's natural that you have fear. But as much as you deal with the fear, the best you'll be prepared for it. Fear is not wrong, because fear makes you aware. Fear makes you more conscious of about what you have to do. And I always tell your players, if you knew you could not lose tomorrow, what would you do? That's how you have to play. I think if you knew what you would do if you were sure you could not lose, how you would play. So just go there and play, because that's the way you have to do it.
Nothing vlog. My first question is to the coach. Coach, it is said that winning teams find a way to win, and losing teams always find a way to lose. In the previous game, your team showed its character with grinding a result in a very difficult place to play. Even the ASFA coach said going to Kinshasa was a very, very difficult thing to do. When I look at the game from last week, Peter finding a way to help the team, and also coming out of a rut because he hasn't been finding goals. And when you look at him now, he's the highest scoring South African player in the player playing in the PSL in the Champions League. How important is it, coach, to get your big boys, in inverted commas, to show the group how important they are to the group, and how important was that for you? And my second question is to Musa. Hopefully you don't lose what my question, coach. Musa, my question to you is, as one of the senior players in this team, I just mentioned the result from last week. How important is it for yourself as a senior player in this team to show by action to the players that are coming in and who are new in the team and are new to the group, to show them how hard it is and how tough it is that you have to grind and find these results in terms of Champions League football?
So thank you very much for your question. Also very interesting, because it makes me speak about experienced players. And for me as a coach, it's clear that we depend on the players. Our job is just to give tools. Try to give tools so that the players can perform in the best way, they can face the different moments that competitions will bring. So that we arrive obviously in these decisive moments aimed with the stuff that we need to face the difficulties that will appear, and to make the games as easy as we can. But naturally the players that have more experience, more quality, that have a better way to emotionally face the games, usually in the right moments they appear. We just need to create the right mindset, the right emotions, so that comes as a flow, as a natural thing. What I felt in the last week was that the team committed with a big spirit, with a champion spirit, let's say, with the spirit that was needed to face the adversities of that game. Because the game was even harder than it was supposed to be. Because I think it would be naturally that we would have done the first goal, but we didn't. We suffered. So we had to overcome that difficulty extra, as the pitch, they're very dry, very slow, and an opponent very strong in terms of their physicality that they put it on the game. We overcame the difficulties. Now it's another page, same book, but we need to write also a story on it, and of course we need everybody. Also, I also believed in the spirit, in the irreverence that eventually also young players have to give to the team. So we trust on everything. Most important is that we know what to do as a team. In the right moments, players will appear. Today, last game was Peter. We had Ikram before doing decisive goals. Lucas sometimes makes decisive goals, and many other players can do it any moment. We trust everybody. The important is how, as a team, we face each moment and how we focus on what we want until the end of the match. Because these matches, they are played until the last minute, for sure.
Yeah, I think from the senior players, I was fortunate enough to play with the generation that won the Champions League in 2016. And the most important thing is to pass down the torch. They pass down the torch to us, and then we also have to leave it to the next generation that's coming. So I think us leading them, showing them the way, and they're going to lead the next generation that's coming. So it's not only about us as senior players, but the young ones who also come through at the right time and at the right moment. And some of them, they've won us games. So I think the young ones right now, they're really starting to step up. They're starting to actually take charge of, they're starting to understand of how Champions League is being played.
Question is directed to Coach. Chobos is from Far Post. Coach, we do know Sundowns prides itself in playing beautiful football, but that doesn't always win you games in the Champions League. How do you, with that in mind, how do you approach games? Do you try to strike a balance between playing well and getting the results, or grind, and get the results in a competition like the Champions League?
Well, thank you for your question, because it will allow me to say some things that I really think is important. And the players know, and Musa is here, he will not let me speak something that he doesn't hear. Even today we spoke about that. Big teams are not teams that are disbalanced. Big teams are teams that grow from understanding the different moments that the game brings. Big teams are the ones that defend good to attack better, attack good to defend better. So teams are balanced. Know that any moment when we are in Champions League level, also the opponents can harm you any moment. So you need to understand what's happening every moment. And when we deal with all these factors, the team becomes more robust, more capable. Doesn't stress when they don't have the ball, then doesn't also stress when has the ball. Because some teams, they stress when they have the ball because they are not used to manage it. And that's not what happens here. But also it's important that when you need to play with very strong teams and to win a Champions League, you need to play with very strong teams. So there are moments you will not have the ball. You also need to have a wonderful defensive organization. That's how we win matches in the level of, if you want to go through to the last stages of big competitions. And that's that mentality that we are trying to create in the team, that when you don't have the ball, you don't stress. You are defending, but you are looking at the goal. When you have the ball, you manage it to create the spaces, or use the spaces, or disbalance the opponent so that you have the spaces you need to attack. And if that is beautiful or no, I don't know. But one thing I know, it's capable to take teams to the end of the biggest competitions. And that's the Sundowns we want to grow all together, based on this identity that the club has, respecting that because I love it so much. But from there, build a strong team. That's what you need to have tomorrow to go through already this big opponent.
Week in difficult conditions away, and if you look at the 1-1 draw that you played against AS FAR, how much confidence does that give Mamelodi Sundowns going into tomorrow's match? And to Musa, how important will it be for the team to win tomorrow and finish top of the group?
Okay. I think for us it's very important. It's our first game of the year at home in front of our fans, and we know when the yellow fans are there pumping the drum, we know that nothing goes wrong. So we hope in the coming numbers, and we make sure that we don't disappoint them.
The confidence of a team obviously comes out from results. It's obvious. It sustains the work of a coach. It sustains the work of the players. It makes everybody believe more and more in what you do. I think that from the first day I arrived here, I felt that energy, that we were speaking the same language, let's say. We were working the same way. What we proposed was something that people received, the players received in the right way. So our communion of objectives became more clear and more easy. So I think we are working with the right ambience so that we can continue to make good things. Obviously, we need to fight. We'll have to go through difficulties, and we have to be more and more strong every day. As far as we keep that mentality, as far as we are capable to understand that together we are much more stronger, as far as no one becomes more important than the team itself, as far as we understand that only in the high level of competition, individually, as most as you give from yourself, the best the team will become. The individuals will be on the service of the team will become better. So that's what I want, and as I always tell players ahead, we provide them tools in the end, as robust as our team will be mentally, physically and tactically, as more as will be ready for the level of competitions we have ahead, because as you know, schedule in January, February and March will be terrible. Let's hope we can make it even terrible more in the front. It means that we are going through in all competitions, and for that we need everybody, a strong group, everybody on the level. So we need to worry not only about the players that are playing, but mostly about the ones that are not playing, because they are decisive. They are the ones that replace anything that happens. And there are no first 11 players in this group. As you saw from the previous game, we have no problems to change players. We believe in everybody. And we've seen players giving answers when we put them over on the competition. So we trust everybody, and that's the spirit we want to continue to have in the team.
Musa, Kamokolo for Soccer Laduma. Coach, you spoke about the intense schedule that you've essentially come into, and that may be to come for you and the team. Considering the expectation for the club to play in a certain way, a beautiful football, if you can say, how tough has it been for you to kind of embed your ideology into the team, considering that you've had to travel so much and play so regularly, even December when other teams are not? I mean, you're still behind in the league as far as games are concerned, so how tough has it been, trying to get your ideas across in a tactical perspective?
Very, very interesting, very difficult to work, because there's not many opportunities to train, basically, and the tools that we provide the players come mostly from training sessions. What's important is that we have very clever players also. The level of the players is very high. It allows us also through audiovisual strategies, by the meetings we do, by the analysis we do on the work we do, to also provide them information and get feedbacks in terms of how we perform in the games according to that. Also, anyway, it's important to understand sometimes you cannot play as beautiful as you'd like to, because I don't really know what is this beautiful in football, because in the end, beautiful is when you win. And let me tell you, in PSL, mostly when you play away, it's very difficult to play how we would like to play, because most of the teams play very direct football, very aggressive football in terms of how the ball falls on our back, how we need to deal. We cannot counter-press basically most of the times because the ball is already being played long. The beautiful is how you adapt to the conditions and how you succeed under different conditions. And when you play competitions in Africa, the continent is so huge, so big, that the conditions you're going to face are so different from one place to the other. So the team that is more capable to adapt to the different realities you're going to face, the team is going to be as strong as possible. So, and that one will be the strongest team. That's also what we are trying to get. So that's why I speak about mentality. That's why I speak about focus. That's why I speak about the right emotions to face the different moments that we're going to go through. And if we do it in the right way, eventually we are more close to overcome that difficulties. And we don't think on our lives, on our daily basis. We don't think about what's going to happen in March, in June. We don't even care. We just focus on the next one. Our mentality is next game. Really believe me. I know that there's a championship match after this one against Magesi. I know that we have Netbank first match and the following week in the middle of the week. But believe me, I haven't even worried about it, because we don't know what will happen tomorrow, after tomorrow's, that conditions what happens after. So even regarding the players who will play next game, who at all, what we focus is our total energy on the next game, because that will give us the energy for the next one. And then we'll deal with the contexts. So, because sometimes you lose the players, but then another ones recover more quickly than you expected. So it's a daily basis management of men and people, and that's a wonderful job of a coach, So things happen very quickly in football, and we need to deal with that regularly, with what happens day by day.